let's say, all right, so you may have a really hard time during the week, right? Let's say at first you get all this stuff done, right? So all these papers and stuff, and this is you. Let's try that again. Not so great, huh? Bad start. So anyway, so this is you during the week. You've been crushing it, getting all this stuff done. Check, 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 check. Right? It's been great. So you've been super happy. But then all of a sudden, one day, your mood shifts in terms of just your productivity, and then things don't go the way you wanted, right? And you're like, I don't know what happened. What's going on? And this sometimes has a lot to do with your the way that you're negotiating your commitments in your mind, right? So negotiating commitments, right? So we do this naturally in our minds, where we say, "Oh, we should, we could," and then we would have, all these different things, right? All these concerns and fears, irrational mainly, things like that. So all these things occur, right? And the way to get out of the rut is like this. And this has helped me for the last 20 years get moving and get into a really great place from a not so great place. So we'll start out like this. First off, make a list, right? So just get all the things off of your head, and that's our starting place. Now, these could be strange ideas. They could be just little weird drawings or something, or they could be just different things that you wanted to get to, but you never quite did. So anything that's top of mind, anything that's kind of in here in that cranial kind of sphere, anything in there that you can get out of your mind that you can put into some type of form of recorded list, right? And you get way better results if you have post-it notes, right? But don't let that get in the way of actually starting, right? So it could be one thing, two things, three things, four things, right? Just like that. Now, next step is processing. So you take these raw materials of these things that are floating around your mind, and then you start discerning them into two different categories, right? So one is, it's going to be projects, right? So projects are multiple actions, right? And they're also they're also consist of an outcome, right? So let's do a sample run, right? So this list for me would be like change tires. This might be get visa. This might be like get cash, right? And then it might be like check. Let's say Father's Day, right? Okay, great. So these are all things that are on top of my mind. They're floating around. They're bothering me, right? and the way that I deal with them is simple. I basically take them one by one, and then I start evaluating them, saying, "Hey, what is the reality here, right? What's the thing that I really need to deal with?" And the best way to do this is to say, okay, change tires. That requires more than one action for sure, right? So that's definitely going to be in my projects list. So one thing is going to be safety, maybe in car with new tires, right? Next one is going to be what? Get visa. So that's going to be enjoy travels abroad. Maybe enjoy access travels abroad, right? And the next one is going to be get cash. So have backup resources. Great. And then the other one might be Father's Day. So that might be like, show appreciation to dad. Right? That's my projects list, and you can see these are clearly defined outcomes, and they can all be sorted out into this next category, which is going to be actions, right? So actions are where the rubber meets the road. They're where the most risk lies. So the second you step forwards and complete one thing, you have two different directions to go with two more doors to kind of step and go through again, right? So if you have a lot of things going on in your life, these doors start stacking up to the point where they become very overwhelming. And the best way to deal with this is to narrow it down to what is the very next action. And I'll show you what that looks like. Right? So safety in car, that one is going to be changing tires, right? So first off, to do that, I can't do anything until I go to my Google Maps and then I search tire place, right? I can't do anything. I can't change them. I can't buy them. I can't do anything. I need to figure out where they are, and that's a sort of geolocation, right? So next up is going to be access, enjoy travels abroad. So this one's going to be at Google Visa application, right? So that's good to know. And then the next one's going to be backup resources, right? So that's going to be like at Google Maps. It's going to be like ATMs, right? So if I know where the ATMs are, then I can find them, right? Then it might be like at car, stop at ATM. Cool. And then final one is going to be show appreciation for dad, right? So that could be like at Amazon, browse cards, right? Or that could be at phone, call dad, right? I promise you, if you do this simple method, you will be in a place that you have so much more control. So feelings of control, you'll be clear in the mind, and you will be focused, right? And the coolest thing about this is that when you do all this stuff, right? So you figure out the projects, and then you figure out your actions. When you really commit to doing that, what happens is you actually free up some more mind space where you can start to understand that you have new creative and sort of like wonderful ideas sort of pop up as a byproduct. So anyways, try that. I'm sure it's going to help you dramatically and you'll be in a really good place. So take care.